Wuthering Waves has done nothing but build their popularity and successful foundation along with the release of Rinascita in version 2.0. With the new year came new content, from its livestream update and sneak peek of characters to its immersive and quality experiences in all aspects from versions 2.0 to 2.3. I've heard a lot of gacha creators say that the content is peak, goated, the better Genshin, but why is that? I shouldn't just take their word for it or agree right off the bat. And to be completely clear, this is not a comparison video between Genshin and Wuwa, nor is this a glazing Wuwa video or me being a Korobot or a Hoyo shell. I strongly dislike these terms. I want to be fair and give credit where it's due. I'm here to make my claim about Wuthering Waves Rinascita, support it with evidence through my experience, and formulate my own opinion. If you agree or disagree, feel free to say why in the comments. Moving forward, I go ahead and find out for myself if Rinascita is worth what some of the biggest gacha creators have been saying about it. In this video, I go to uncover every single piece of story and exploration content from versions 2.0 to 2.3. As a little side note or preface if you're new to the channel or even if you're not, I came back to Wuthering Waves when Rinascita released in 2.0, of course falling in love with it, and I got done with 2.2's story at the beginning of version 2.3. It took me a couple of versions along to not only play through the Jinjo to the Black Shores, but also post my thoughts on it. Same with this video to an extent. I play the content but take my time revising my script and editing the video to try and portray my thoughts in an effective visual manner. I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible when going through this journey, and towards the end, I'll say what I liked and disliked to give my honest personal feedback. This next segment is a quick rundown of my journey to and through Rinascita. If you want to skip towards the point of the video, you can skip ahead here or in the chapter section provided. With that, I'd appreciate a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to support a small creator like myself. You all help keep me going, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Sailing from the Black Shores, I felt so sad saying goodbye to Shorekeeper. On my one-way trip, I immediately meet the only playable male in all of Rinascita, Brant, along with his first mate and super cute introvert friend, Rakia and Pero. Meeting them gave me comfort after trying to fight off a corrupt whale of a tacit discord. I arrive at the city of echoes called Rinascita, and there's already a deep conflict. The religious order of the deep, who claims they worship the Sentinel, does not only present some huge red flags in their worship, but we also meet a mysterious scriptwriter named Cristoforo. My first impression of him never flew so far as being an unimportant NPC. I was later proven wrong. Wait! Wait! It's him! Freak you! No freaking way! It's the guy with the mask that we met at the beginning! Oh my gosh. Whoa, what's his name again? Oh my gosh, no, he was bad? No, he had a cool design. Ugh, freak this guy, man. For a first impression though, he did give off some vibes that I felt were weird enough. We get a grand tour of Raguna from one of, if not the only wholesome acolyte from the Order, Phoebe. We also spend time with one of the most anticipated and already fan favorite character of this nation, her being named Zani. We took our little date seriously, and then trouble arrives with the unexpected hostility of Echoes attacking the people of Raguna. We investigate with Zani, leading us to Cristoforo again and eventually to Phoebe. We say goodbye to Cristoforo after speaking of fate, and of course at first glance, never thought anything of it. We go to the Nimbus Sanctum and meet Lorelei, and find numerous instances of the Fraxis petals that we saw when we met Frolova back in version 1.2. Remember, Rover? It seemed that since the Fraxidus was involved, we needed additional assistance, and where else to get it than the Montelli family. We do this really cool Mission Impossible quest with Carlotta in Averardo Vault, and then figure out the real meaning behind the fabricated history of the Sentinel, the Order, and the people of Raguna. We eventually get attacked by the Dragon of Dirge, rampaging over the Penitent's End, where we see Brant and Rakia again, discovering that normal everyday citizens of Raguna City are exiled there, simply because they are deemed sinful and heretics by the church-state government of the Order of the Deep, sent to repent of their sins, only to die by the Dragon of Dirge or some other malicious and cruel way. Exposing this truth and their corruption was a crucial card to play against the Order. We devised a plan with a troop of fools along with Carlotta to put on a performance the Rinascitans would never forget. At the peak of Carnival festivity time, our plan goes through, distracting the Order and Fenrico with our grand performance while we confront the conductor Frolova, splitting reality as we knew it. we only got a taste of what she can do in battle. As the fight concludes, we end Act 3 with a dire message and call from Imperator, the very sentinel the Rinascitans worship, to look for the girl in the crowd and seek the upside-down castle in the sky. We confront the girl named Cartathea, and our resonances somehow align. Chat, is she gonna be playable? Is she gonna be playable? An after party for a successful carnival performance is cut short by an audience with Fenrico, the supposed Sentinel's resonator. We confront this fraudulent liar of an NPC and he's contradictory as hell. Getting no answers from him, we decide to get the answers ourselves. Diving straight into Act 4, Abby, our little Echo companion, has been kinda struggling to feel empowered, and we need to head to this castle in the sky that Imperator mentioned to help him out. But first, we check out Egla Town to see how the wandering bard named Chiacona can help us remember the detailed interaction with Cartathea. Our adorable Blessed Maiden is having trouble with what her memories contain. Is she the Imperator's resonator, or the Threnodians? What true legend has the Order of the Deep contained? Eventually, we go to the Visalia family's household mansion to seek more answers, only to find out who this jellyfish MILF is that was sneaking about in the Avenolium. We learn of the relics, memories, and history relating to the Visalia family, the Avenolium, and the story hints at the connection between the Threnodian, Imperator, and Cartathea. We meet up with Cartathea at Bayor Waters and head up to the seminary in the sky. As we progressively uncover more missing memories and align context clues with our royal ladies, we ultimately face off against Cartathea's alter ego, Fleur-de-Lis. Cartathea sacrifices herself, and in turn, we obtain the power to defeat Fleur-de-Lis. She dies, but with the power of Imperator, post-Blessed Maiden's death, she came back to life, living as both Cartathea and Fleur-de-Lis, all because of Cantarella's genius plan and sacrifice. With the release of Chiacona's companion quest, this story gave off the impression at first glance that it's not relevant because it's labeled as a companion quest. As far as all of us know, you do not need to play any companion quest in this game, period. But to those who are truly invested in the deep story of Rinascita, you have to understand the main story quest to really understand Chiacona's story heavily. Not only do we see the same corruption from the Order of the Deep, we also saw Chiacona exposing the truth of the Sentinel's true form to the people and asking some deep, thought-provoking questions to stir up some controversy for the Order to deal with. And by the end, Cristoforo and Fenrico are at qualms with one another and work together to dissuade and manipulate our protagonists into believing that their pasts and current actions are insignificant. To no avail, we go to Septimont to continue our journey throughout all of Solaris. The new nation was really good. Top-tier voice acting and accents from the cast of characters. Going to almost every section of Rinascita was really enjoyable. Not only did we get a rundown of the locale via the music and immersive story, but no matter where I went, I was astounded by how much detail and work Kuro Games has put in. From not just the basic introduction, but everyone's involvement, contributions, and role to play. Phoebe being the Order's representative to introduce the nation of Raguna, and her learning some truths that challenge her faith, with some corrupt acolyte NPCs that portray both good and bad apples in every community known to man. Zani's protective approach in keeping Raguna in line, Brent and Rakia's role in performing at the carnival and being exiles to help us learn how corrupt the Order of the Deep is, Chiacona's past alongside it, to help us authenticate that fact as well. Carlotta's connections and helping us have a comfortable stay in Raguna. Cantarella being the underdog and influencing Imperator with a change of plans. Cartathea being the actual Sentinel and Threnodian's resonator, for one cannot exist without the other. Everyone is important. No exceptions. Almost every detail builds off of the other. Over time and with each act and playthrough, they always left me wanting more and wondering where the story is gonna go next. I think the biggest impression I got from Rinascita overall was a humongous region comparative to the game's previous nations of the Black Shores and the combined Huanglong regions of the Jinzhou mainland and Mount Firmament. Not only did we see so many different sections of the entire region, each having their own unique style and being connected to Rinascita's lore and history, but the fact that we can fly from one section to another is beyond phenomenal. Not only is it convenient, it's what sets this game apart from other open world gacha games, or at least the other one. Echo presets are quite nice. In my experience, I only use it to switch from one rover resonance element to another, but that's about it. I'm not a huge guy on builds, but I like it though. The puzzles and little activities were intriguing, the painting puzzle, the little chess scavenger hunt mini areas, the flight challenges, this chess game that took me at least 100 tries over in the Oakhart High Court. Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? Finally. Goodness sake. All of it was really fun. It's what makes me a casual to a semi-hardcore gamer get my mind functioning to its full capacity. There were instances where some story segments came by as too much for too long. I understand where specific parts wanted their own unique experience, such as the Mission Impossible portion with Carlotta, or exploring Penitent's End, the surface and its underground secret hideout cave, and even getting a small glimpse of the whole Avenolium before doing its exploration quest during the 2.2 story version. To me, trying to do it in one sitting feels exhausting. Maybe it's my own fault for not paying too much attention to the story, or not skipping dialogue, or not being fast enough with getting through content. I like to take my time, but taking my time for too long can feel like a bit much, especially when the content with each version piles up over time. One of the #1 issues I have with the overworld is that I couldn't fly from the ground or unless I jumped off a certain height. Flight is convenient, yes, but it's inconvenient that it's not like an Iron Man or Venti type of liftoff. Exploration rewards are relatively cheap. When you do a multitude of them, they build up, but to have not even a 10 pull from exploration and events is pretty underwhelming in my opinion. This is only involving the overworld, not the permanent game modes such as Whimpering Wastes, Tower of Adversity, Fantasies of a Thousand Gateways, or the Elusive Realm. This is strictly only about exploration. If any of you guys have comments concerning what you thought was good or bad, please express them in the comments below. With all this being said and done, I absolutely love Rinascita. It's definitely not perfect, but it is worthy of attention and valuable to my playtime. I had so much fun, and if the opportunity ever arises, I'd love to play it again for the first time. With the recent ending of a main story quest with Cartethia, Fleur-de-Lis, and the end of the Order of the Deep with Chiokona's companion quest, to me is super bittersweet. As we let go of Rinascita's grand venture and into Septimont's gladiatorial warfare and culture, along with new characters that await us in the arena. I wholeheartedly strive to fit the entirety of my thoughts and insight on all the Rinascita content within a week of the 2.4 patch release editing this video and script. I also tried to do every single Rinascita quest, with of course the exception of Septimont content. I'm doing all this for the sole purpose of being fully immersed and focused on the story, lore, the characters, the locale, and the music. Being a creator that highly enjoys and values story content, I don't feel like my opinion matters all that much, but I'm always open for conversation and discussion, especially when I don't understand the full context to a story or a character. Quick shout out and thank you to some of you guys commenting and clarifying my misunderstanding. I also think that Wuwa's story and lore doesn't get that much attention unless it's the peak or high moments with the super cool animations and characters popping off and whatnot. Let me know if you guys want a Septimont version. I know this video is labeled as part 1, but I want part 2 to be the Septimont Islands because it is confirmed that the Septimont Island portion archipelago is considered part of the Rinascita Nation, so that's why I labeled the 2.0 to 2.3 content as part 1 and 2.4 onwards as part 2. This video took quite a while to make, but also I wanted to be very clear and concise. If you've made it this far at the end, I'd like to give you a sincere thank you and also an apology. Apology for not uploading this sooner, but again, a massive thank you anyway for watching. I'd love and appreciate feedback in the comments, and especially a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. As always, stay safe, stay awesome, God bless you wonderful, beautiful people, and have a good one.